So let's get like to the beginnings of your story, right? A lot of people don't know, like, you're a very confident talker right now, like, but not so much the case.
No.
Take me back to the early days of your life, the trauma that that you went through, the challenges you had with Stammer, how you overcame that, and I want to unpack it in great detail before we actually get into how you got into education.
Sure. I think, by the way, those things are linked. So, I grew up in what people on the surface would consider to be a very English middle class family of immigrant descent from Eastern Europe. My parents went through a horrifically messy, traumatic breakup and consequently divorce. And I ended up with two traits for a 9-year-old child, which were mortifying. One was a nervous stammer, as you mentioned. And the other was I started wetting the bed, which you can imagine, a 9-year-old boy is traumatic. And it was in that period of time, without realizing that my path would take me to education, I realized the power and potency of an extraordinary educator, an extraordinary teacher. Because amidst all of this, there was one teacher, one educator who really took an interest in me at a time where I was being seen as the pariah to most. Other kids didn't really want to play with me because I just wasn't cool at the time. And I was, and their parents clearly were having issues, like in those days, that societal perception, oh my God, if her husband's walked out on her, she'll be after our husbands. So, all that sort of nonsense. So this teacher took a real interest in me and was very supportive to my mother, actually, in terms of just trying to be there as a person who could shine light. And he was a drama and English teacher. And so drama was his passion, and he was putting on the school play, right? And he did something which you would say was completely counterintuitive, because he
take the guy
with the new speech impediment, and he took me aside and he said,
"Get on the stage.
I think you should take a part in the play." And I was like, "Are you mad?" And he went, "No," and his belief was, and again, in those days, we knew a lot less about psychology and mental behaviors than we do today. And he said, "I think that if you were to speak somebody else's lines, I think you might be okay." And it was an extraordinary thing, because there was this shy boy with a speech impediment. And I will never forget getting up on the stage, being in a play that he wrote himself.
What age was this?
So this was 9-10 years old. And
so right when you had the trauma.
Yeah, it was just during that period, because he felt that was how he could help me, because what he could see was a kid that had really low self-esteem, really low sense of value and purpose. And I think he felt very passionately that maybe he could see something in me anyway, but he also felt very passionately that if I could learn to inhabit somebody else's character, that if I could speak somebody else's lines, it might be a route back, both for me in terms of raising my self-esteem, because I think at that point I wasn't particularly sporty. I wasn't academic, really. I was just Mr. Average. I was, tragically, like 90% of the kids in our education system globally are made to feel most of the time Mr. and Mrs. Average. We're just average, right? And that's where I was, in the lower end of the kind of average grey mass. Anyway, I got up on stage. I did the play. I loved it. It was like a cathartic moment. It was like an epiphany. It was like, oh my, how did I not know? This is, it was that frisson of fear and nervousness and excitement, and seeing a group of people look at me.
How many people were there sitting in the...
I suppose we did the play for 3 nights, and maybe there were 100, 150 people, parents and children and staff and families over 3 nights. And I loved it. And it really had a significant impact on my recovery that's a clumsy word, but that route back, it gave me a sense of purpose. Suddenly other children were coming up to me going, "God, you were amazing. You were really good in," and of course, I'd not heard that ever probably. And certainly it was the kind of reinforcement I needed at the time. I didn't stutter and stammer on stage because I wasn't me. I was playing
someone.
Exactly. And so that had a profound impact on me. And I'm sure all of that experience as we talk through it has had a profound impact on my life story since. Yeah.